Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of your favorite talk show, Bahrain Now, with me, your host, Bara Abdallah. We got a great show lined up full of local talents, initiatives, and happenings from around the island. So stay tuned, we'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, our next guest is the founder of Palitra Studio, the first academic art studio in Bahrain that offers art classes for adults, teens, and children. Alexandra Novak Khamis. Well, she is right here with us right now on Bahrain Now. Good evening.
Hello, hi. I'm very happy to be here. Thank you very much for inviting me.
It's a great pleasure. You've been doing it for such a long time, and you are the first. Tell us a little bit about Palitra, and seriously, what does Palitra even mean?
Yes, basically I'm from Russia, from the biggest country in the world and famous country for the art, exactly, and artists in general. Palitra means palette in Russian language. I could, palette, which you can see here.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So basically, I could call it English, but I decided to do it in Russian. First of all, it sounded nice, and it was unusual.
I love it, Palitra.
Yes, Palitra. Actually, it's already 9 years old. 9 years ago, I opened the studio. Yes, like a little bit after I came to Bahrain. I'm here already 12 years, and I love Bahrain a lot.
Bahraini.
Yes, I am, exactly. Yes, I actually decided to open it because when I came to Bahrain, I felt the lack of you know, art, exactly academical art studios.
Okay,
so there was a lot of, and in general, a lot of beautiful artists and like beautiful art studios where a lot of students can express themselves. But there is not much places where actually you can learn classical art, basics, you know, basics which you need to express yourself, you know, clearly. And trust me, after the very basic art, you know, academic lessons, every student can develop, you know, and express themselves easier. Like, you know, the brush strokes is just flowing. You know?
Beautiful. I love that, you know, because here's what I noticed as well. Not only with art, but even with music, there is something about people coming from Russia that they take art so seriously. You know, and like I said, academically.
Yes, that's true.
And so is there a reason behind it? Is that like part of a culture?
Well, I will tell you that in general, part of education, starting from the school, then most of the things we're learning in the first grade is everywhere in the world learning in the 7th grade, something like this. Second important thing is that Russian people in general don't really believe in abstract art, honestly, even though abstract is lovely art. It's like, again, it's part of expressing yourself. But one of the part of academical structure of my lessons is that first you need to learn exactly basics. The abstract is interesting, but you cannot say much with the, you know, with just splashing colors. You know, yes, you cannot say much. You can say for yourself in general. But in Russia, it's important. From the university education, the teachers will basically not take you serious if you will, you know, show them abstract art. Everything comes step by step, very serious. Yeah.
Very interesting. Because we had another interview, like I said earlier, is that when we had academic music teachers, we talked about master degree holders in different instruments, and now you're telling me about painting and arts. You yourself have taken an academic approach.
Academic approach. The one important thing, of course, I'm talking about is inspiration as well. I believe in education through inspiration. Basically, you are first learning basics and then express yourself. Of course, I try to find this balance between strict rules and of course inspiration and, you know, developing your own style and relax your mind. I have students, adults, sometimes adults come to my studio and they are scared. They are scared to do mistake. They try to make the perfect picture directly from the first moment. And I try to tell them, relax. You need to, first layer can be like messy. Sometimes I need to relax them. But sometimes, especially when it comes to the teenagers, they don't care. They don't not scared, which is good. But this is where they don't follow the rules. You know what I mean? So I try to find this balance. We're following rules, but we're expressing, but not too much, because then you're getting stiff and you're not enjoying. You're not enjoying art. Yeah. So, you know, it should be balanced. And this is what I teach in general, like, you know, in between inspiration and, you know, academical, you know, learning.
We're lucky to have you. We are really lucky to have you here in Bahrain.
Thank you.
Definitely. So what was that spark 9 years ago? You came into Bahrain, you saw a lot of abstract, I would say, art, and you felt like, Palitra has to actually take a place right here. What was that spark for you to take an academic approach?
I wanted, first of all, in general, with this first thought, as you said, I really wanted place where I could teach different ages. Different age, starting from the like 4 or 5 year old, can be earlier, but honestly earlier they will not really remember much. But from 4 or 5 year old is amazing age to start develop motor skills till like 85, 95 year old. I have very old students. More than that, I would tell that some of the students, they become artists themselves after visiting my lessons. They are selling their works and getting more money than they spent on my courses, which is amazing, which is students supposed to, you know, become better than the teacher in the end. I believe in that. So I believe that I wanted some place where like any age can come and paint the work like in 2 hours, leave the studio with actual ready masterpiece on the canvas. I really wanted that. Not just learn, but also like take home something they would be proud of. But of course, to take something they would proud of, they need to learn basics. So that's how, after that thought, come the idea of developing exactly structured lessons first. And till now, yes, basically I would honestly will say that I never had like student who didn't paint, who didn't know how to paint. Yes, I had students who came without skills. I have students who, adults and teenagers who came without like knowing how to, you know, hold the brush properly. Right. But trust me, after the like couple of lessons with me, they was confident. Wow. One important thing to be confident. Yeah. And yes, I'm telling you, I raised many artists. Many artists. And second thing, I prepared a couple of students for universities in Europe, in France, and also in India. And as well as that, one of my students win the Olympic Games in art in the world. There's Olympic Games in art.
Congratulations to that.
So, and I've been teaching students from all continents, like basically half the world. Amazing, yeah, I was counting actually countries. Yeah.
How do you feel about all of this, all these achievements?
I'm very inspired. It's part of my inspiration, my own inspiration. When I'm painting, when I'm creating something, and I'm also, of course, during these lessons, I'm learning myself, you know. And of course, I getting inspiration when I see the success in students. I love it. Again, inspiration, one of the most important things. I got inspired myself, and of course I take my studio as my baby in a way that I really want to develop and to include more classes. Right now we are mostly concentrated on the drawing, watercolors, acrylics and oil. By the way, oil, which is very difficult medium, which again not much people can teach in Bahrain. Because oil, a lot of artists till now very scared of the oil because it's complicated. It's complicated medium. But again, I have the classes with professional oil, study. I would say like that. And as well as that, I teach abstract. I have the course of the abstract as well because I saw the interest in that. Right. Like, trust me, like a lot of people interested in that. I'm not saying like I don't like abstract,
I know you're not.
But I still believe in academic and classical art more.
You believe in structure.
Yes, exactly. So as you can see, like I teach everything. Regarding the future development, I hope to add sculpture.
Ooh.
Yes, I can teach that as well, but it's more difficult in the technical way.
Okay.
You know.
Okay, great. Yeah. I'm 38, gonna be 40 not far away from now. Is it too late for me to learn?
No,
really?
No, of course not. More than that, I can, I can very sure tell that, you need approximately 8 lessons.
8 lessons.
In 8 lessons, you can actually open your own gallery.
Come on.
Yeah, no, I'm not joking. I'm honestly serious. I'm not trying to say that I'm a great teacher, but I just know how to take out the inner artist from the people. Wow. Yes, and trust me, you have a lot of old people, like I have old in a way of the age, as you said, but not in the
young
heart.
In heart.
Young in the heart, I believe in that. Yes, like honestly like 60, like that, and they're painting. Most of the time they come to relax their mind, use art as meditation, you know, but then when they see the artworks, they understand, no, we can actually, we can actually develop that into something serious.
I'm gonna cut a deal with you right now. That's the case. After 8 lessons, I open a gallery and you get a commission of 20% of every sale.
Sure,
right?
And I'm very sure in that. Trust me.
Okay. I'm not sure when I'm gonna start.
Yeah.
We're gonna make that happen, definitely.
Yes,
I love the confidence in your voice. It's just telling me that I still have a chance.
Because in 9 years I saw that. Before, again, trust me, I was not sure in the start. When I was just starting, most of my students were kids, and it was more like for them a part of their school curriculum, we'll say like this, developing it. But then when I saw development, I would tell you a simple example. When I had the student, adult, who came to my studio without any skills, like he was around maybe 40. He didn't have any skills at all, because on the first lesson you can see if the student a little bit knows something, at least something. He didn't have anything, trust me, like literally nothing. And he wanted to paint, he was motivated. I told him that you need to work a lot. He was coming every week, once a week for 2 hours. And after course he took about 10 hours. That means not 10 hours, 10 lessons. So it's around 20 hours altogether.
Okay.
He sold half of his works.
Amazing.
He developed so good. He was bringing the works at his work and his colleague bought the works, really. So I believe after that example, when I saw in my eyes the student without skills actually could sell or his own works and develop confidence inside. And again, happiness also, like, you know, everybody left the studio with a smile.
Very inspirational. You must be very proud.
And again, it's part of my own inspiration. That's when I'm painting as well, you know. And yeah, I'm happy about it. And really, one of my important goal for me is when students become better than the teacher. Really, that's important for me.
You said you pretty much focus a lot on oil, right?
Yes.
So what can you tell us about this painting?
So basically, it's two mediums here, oil and acrylics. I love oil because you can actually blend very well and create the certain base, with realistic volume and the value of the shadows and the hands. But I love acrylic as part of the bright colors and such colors as gold, for example, which not exist in oil paintings. Oil paintings, they're very natural colors to paint something very, like, you know, close to our life. When acrylics can be this kind of, you know, the spark, pink or gold, and so on. Yeah, what my point about this picture? I love Bahrain and I love Bahraini women
and Bahrain
a lot.
Loves you, that's for sure.
I love Bahraini women, even though I want to show that even though Bahraini women very often covered in the dark clothes, they actually way more colorful inside. So this is what I tried to show. They have the colorful personalities. They are way more colorful. But even though you see, like, you know, especially for European people who are coming to Bahrain, they see that woman covered in dark something. Yeah, very often. I don't see that. I see the, you know, the beautiful bright colors behind that. That's what I tried to show here.
That is so beautifully expressed.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you, actually, for doing this. This is amazing. Wow, there's a lot going on here in your academics. So you've been very busy.
Yes, that's true.
And you're going to have sculpture as well in the future?
Hopefully, yes. Hopefully, I wish to do that. And again, I have a lot of, like, you know, questions about that. But yeah, the only thing is a technical thing when you need to bring clay and keep it somewhere. But other than that, some of my students do small sculptures so far. They're just small, which is, like, you know, easy to access. But I hope to do something bigger than that.
I have no doubt it's going to take place.
More than that, of course, Palitra is trying to be a part of exhibitions. So any exhibitions, especially if it's exhibition charity one, I try me as invited artist or, like, you know, my students, I try to participate there. For example, there was exhibition in the summer, Art for Autism, which I was part of that as well. So yeah, any initiative which is with charity, I really want Palitra to be part of that.
Well, Palitra is pretty much going to get everywhere and going to make it to amazing dimensions and definitely frontiers. I love everything you said. I was just listening like, this is a story. Super inspired. Now, if you're going to leave us with a few words, what would that going to be?
Well, in my opinion, you should never be scared. You never should be scared if you want to start something new. Again, doesn't matter on the age, doesn't matter on your work. For example, you think you're not at all related to the art field. No, trust me, you can. Everybody can paint, everybody. The only thing you need to relax and let your inner artist go and to believe in your, in your inspiration, I would say, like that. Yeah, so my suggestion is that if you really wish to go into art, go. Start painting, just take brush, start painting. Yes, like
let's go.
Anything.
Let's go.
This is for the start. Yeah.
Wow.
And of course visit Palitra and and you can become artist. You can actually become, I can help with that. More than that, I can help with providing help for Instagram or Facebook and how to arrange the online exhibition, something like this. I did that for a couple of my students.
Like you're like a full package altogether.
Yeah, exactly, everything together.
Very, very appreciative. I had so much fun talking to you right here. Very inspirational, very exciting, and full of hope. full
Thank
of
you so
like
much,
opportunity.
yes.
Thank you so much.
For the cultural enlightenment, you know.
Oh, you have added a lot to Bahrain's culture. Thank you so much for
Thank you
doing
so
that.
much.
Much
Thank you.
appreciated.
Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is never too late. I mean, for a guy like me, 38, has still a chance to actually make it and have his own gallery. Might as well make it happen for yourself. All that took place right here with an interview with Alexandra Novak Khamis right here on Bahrain Now. Ladies and gentlemen, one-of-a-kind sport in Bahrain that is competitive and acts on activity for strength and adrenaline rush, which relies on climbing upwards until you reach the summit, with only using your body strength and mindful tactics. Today with us in the studio is Ali Al-Awadi, co-owner of the Crag Bahrain, to tell us more about it. Well, good evening, Ali. How are you?
Good evening. I'm fine. How are you? How's everything?
Great. Thank you so much for asking. Okay, so the last time I went to a mountain, or maybe even a hill this time, Jabal Dukhan, back in the 90s with my late father, would take us over there and forget about us. That's as much as mountain climbing that I had as an experience. But now it seems that there is different kinds of mountain climbing, and it's getting more popular. Tell us more about your experience.
Yeah. Rock climbing is a bit different from mountain climbing. Mountain climbing or mountaineering involves hiking and those stuff, but rock climbing is climbing a steep wall.
Okay.
So you go vertical only. You don't walk, and so rock climbing is a bit different from what you experience at Jabal Dukhan.
Definitely. You see, me and a lot of people, I mean, I'm thankful that you actually corrected me right now and pretty much put it like more of a clarity of what really is the difference, because people think rock climbing, mountain climbing, it's climbing. Yeah. They don't think about the first word, they think of climbing, oh, it must be a mountain. So rock climbing pretty much is a steep wall, and you pretty much try to reach all the way to the top.
Yes, exactly. And there's also a combination of both hiking and rock climbing. That's alpine or mountaineering. It's a combination of both. So some people, to reach a summit, they'll have to specific summits, they'll have to hike, and they'll have to also rock climb. So there is a mixture of both together.
Okay.
But at the Crag, we focus on just rock climbing.
Tell us about Crag. What's going on there?
The Crag, actually, it's been a dream for both me and my partner, Abdullah. For so many years. We've been climbing for so many years, and there was no proper facility in Bahrain, so we had to build this for ourselves first, so we can climb, and of course as a business as well. So if I talk about myself, since I was a kid, I used to love climbing. I used to climb trees, houses, and I used to get myself in some dangerous positions, but when we were kids, we don't understand fear.
Right.
I'm not as brave as I was when I was a kid. So
I'm a bit wiser right now.
Yeah, I'm sure I climb better, but maybe some of the things I did when I was a kid, I wouldn't do now. I understand the difficulties. Yeah, and when I studied, I went to study in the UK, and there, this is where I realized it's the proper sport. So
interesting.
So yeah, when I went to try it for the first time, I realized that this is a sport for me. I kept going back and back. Yeah. Wow. It's a beautiful sport, to be honest. You don't even realize you're getting tired. You're really having a lot of fun. So you don't realize till the next day you're pumped and you can't move. That's the beginning. Yeah.
I love that, because a lot of sports, what happens is that there is no fun factor to it. There's no tactical movements. You don't have to think. It's just either on a treadmill, you move for 45 minutes, you try to kill time, you know, with certain intensity, whatever it is. No, but it seems from rock climbing and hiking, there are tactics. You have to think, where should you put your hands first or your legs? Because, you know, one slip, brr, that's it. You know? You have to be very careful. So there's this fear factor with fun and excitement and adrenaline. Of course, the rush kicks in, just like, whoa, what's going on? All of that excitement comes together, plus you actually doing an exercise. I mean, I don't think I'm brave enough to do that. My son loves it. He's so into it, you know. He climbs like pretty much anything that is climbable, even my shoulder. It's like, here we go, that's it. So now, but have you tried different kind of sports?
Yeah, of course. In Bahrain, everybody plays football, so I started playing football, and I also was playing boxing for a few years.
Wow, boxing.
When I was studying, and I did CrossFit for a couple of years. I did calisthenics for some time. But when I was doing CrossFit and calisthenics, it was just a way to stay fit, because I wasn't climbing enough in Bahrain at the time.
Right.
So I needed to do any other sport, because I wasn't climbing enough. I had a climbing wall at home. Okay. And my partner Abdallah also has a climbing wall at home. So, and we also practice in the desert. Well, believe it or not, there are some areas where you can climb. There's a type of climbing which is called bouldering. You climb just 3 to 5 meters, or sometimes a little bit more. With no rope or anything, but you just put a mat. Wow. So you can fall on a mat. Yeah, if you do it correctly, it is safe.
If you do it correctly.
Yeah. Alhamdulillah, I had never got any injuries from it, and I'm doing it for a long time.
Wait for me. You'll see those injuries.
No, so yeah, it is safe if you do it correctly. Yes. If you learn to do it. So yeah, when I came back to Bahrain, the options were limited, so I was not climbing enough. And I remember I had the plan since I came. It was the first time I made a feasibility study about having a climbing place was back in 2012, and I didn't implement it until 8 years later. So so a long time. Because you know, at that time I didn't get a lot of support. Most people thought I was crazy when I talked about having a climbing place.
You know, a story that never gets old.
But I met Abdallah a few years later, a couple of years after I came back to Bahrain, and he was also a climber, so we started training together, practicing together.
Wow.
Yeah, traveling together. And then I realized that he had the same dream, and he was trying to also open a rock climbing facility, and didn't get the support, so we thought why not do it together. And so in 2019 we started working, and alhamdulillah in 2020 it's up and running.
Amazing, amazing. So big shout out to Abdallah as well. He couldn't make it today, but big shout out to him for pretty much, you know, cooperating with you and the ownership of the crag. Am I saying it right? The crag?
The crag, yes.
Amazing. What is the crag?
Crag, the term crag means a steep wall, a steep rock. And so in climbing lingo, it means any place to climb, an outdoor climbing area, like a natural climbing area. So any rock that you'd have to climb, you have to go vertical. So it's not something you can hike to the top. So that's basically what a crag is.
You know, I'm happy that I managed to use the word summit in something else than a conference. It's like, why is a summit? Then I had to go to Google, like, oh, it means the very top. Thank you so much for giving me that chance to use the summit in a different kind of like connotation and context. So now, do I need some kind of like physical fitness for this, a mindset? How can I actually get into it? Who can participate?
Really, we believe at the crag, and most people most climbers believe that climbing is for everyone. There's a common misconception, which I think is mainly among non-climbers, that climbing is for a specific age group or specific weight, or specific,
like the Ironman people.
Yeah, or specific. It's not really a specific strength, or yes, to reach the highest levels, you have to be physically fit. And but at the crag, if you're anything between, if you talk about weight, you weigh anything between 10 kg and 135, let's say. You can probably climb a lot of routes. Maybe not from the first try, because they are quite challenging. But if you keep coming, you gradually get there, and you realize your improvement. You realize where you're improving and where you need to improve. And it is a workout. So when you're climbing, you will get fitter for the
Okay.
the more difficult routes. Yeah.
All right. What kind of mindset should I have for this? Like, should I be like sharp, or should I be, I don't know, excited, or?
The thing about climbing is when you climb, you will realize. Yes, it is adrenaline pumping and it is exciting, and but when you climb, you learn to control it. You learn to be calm. So you'll get excited. Adrenaline is usually before the climb and at the hardest parts, but most of the climb you're trying to focus. You're being calm. So climbing teaches you to breathe properly, to move properly, to try to move smooth, not to waste energy. You have to think properly. You need good strategic thinking to plan before you start climbing, and even while climbing, you have to learn to calm yourself down and think about the next move. And and there's a lot of analyzing. So some moves, you might make it, you might not. So you think, there's a 70% chance I can do it. You go for it. But wow. Sometimes you make it, sometimes you don't. So.
I can imagine the amount of like slip-offs took place like earlier. It's like, oh, I can do this. Like, oh, I can't.
It's okay if you have the safety. It's
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is very exciting. So where can we find you? How can we join?
We're in Gravity Village in Zalog. It's very easy. It's very easy to book through WhatsApp. Yeah, we have an Instagram account as well.
Okay.
So the Crag BH. Yeah. It's you can come and climb.
I think everybody knows you.
Very basic.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you're so prominent. I think everybody. I mean, maybe I'm one of the few people that are not active enough. But recently, I'm like, I need to get out there and see what's happening. So I know exactly where to find you. That's for sure. That's
yeah, you should. You should try it. I'm sure you'll keep coming back.
Oh yeah, me and my son. Oh, there we go. Well, any last words to your viewers? Yeah,
just don't be scared. Don't focus on the fear. Just focus on the next move. If you're climbing, focus on the next move and the one after that. Because if you don't, you'll focus on the fear. So focus on your moves. Forget the fear.
Amazing, amazing. Well, thank you so much, Ali, for this talk. I mean, now I'm more excited and pumped with adrenaline. Let's go. I mean, is there something we can climb here? Not really. We got a tree, but not challenging enough, I guess, right? Well, thank you so much for being with us right here on Bahrain.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Pleasure is all ours.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, put fear aside. Focus on your next move. All that took place right here with an interview with Ali, right here on Bahrain Now. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight in the studio, we'll be hosting a very passionate dentist, Dr. Fatma Rajab, whose career is very much important to the benefits of our health. She'll be talking to us about her journey and the importance of her role. Well, good evening, Dr. Fatma. How are you?
Thank you so much for having me, first of all.
Definitely, it's a pleasure.
And everything is fine, alhamdulillah. How about you?
Great, great. Thank you for asking. I'm sure you have a very busy schedule, a lot of patients waiting for you and all of that.
Yes,
but you took, squeezed some time to be with us right here on Bahrain Now. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having me.
It's a great pleasure. A lot of people have this love and hate relationship with dentists, all over the place.
That's true, yes, unfortunately.
But, it's something that we really appreciate. Your importance to us is so important, when it comes to our teeth and taking care of them and all of that. I just been to a dentist myself, and I've been just focusing on how much effort he's been taking out of his time just to make me feel relaxed.
That's one of our main goals, is to make the patient feel relaxed.
Amazing, amazing. So my question to you, why did you become a dentist?
I was inspired by my grandmother when I was a kid, who had it in her nature to make people smile, and she made people happy all the time.
Amazing.
So since then, I came to know that I want to make people happy my own way.
Okay.
And I do believe that career is not just a job. We have to always give it a deeper meaning, moral meaning.
Okay.
So as a dentist, I can fix your teeth. But as Fatma, I can give you a beautiful smile and a boost to your self-confidence. So it's a mixture of both. And this is just precious, giving this to people is just precious.
Wow, it was just precious hearing that from you right now. It was amazing. I mean, yes, it does matter. A lot of people miss on that smile.
Yes.
And when you give them the chance to actually smile in front of a camera or just to a loved one or to whatever.
It boosts their confidence as well.
Great.
Yeah.
It's amazing how that smile actually can just change your entire day.
Yes, yes.
And you give us that power. Thank
you.
you so much. I mean, even though, like, okay, now you had that goal, right?
Yes.
You want to make people happy.
Yes.
And big shout out and pretty much appreciation to your grandmother for
Yes.
giving you that inspiration.
Yes, yes.
So even though you had that in your mind, it's like, I want to be a dentist. I want to make people happy. And when a lot of people like see the first challenge of like studies, right?
Yes.
Academics,
Yes,
going
yes.
through college, and all those, let's say, challenges and these obstacles, that did not take you away from that goal?
No, because I saw the belief in my family's eyes. You know, it was kind of pressuring that they believed in me so much, and every step I take and I succeed, I see them happy. So I couldn't just let go.
Right.
I had to do it. I had to finish it.
I mean, it's not easy to study dentistry, right? I mean,
No,
there's
it's not.
so much.
But if you like the thing, you will definitely be able to.
Amazing, amazing. I've been part of the DLS, which is a dentistry conference, takes place in Bahrain.
Yes, yes.
And every year I go there, I host it, right? And it's a big conference, and I see all these dentists. They talk and all of that, and they've been telling me it's a never-ending field.
Yes, it is.
It just you keep learning, whether it's
Yeah,
aesthetics
yeah.
or prosthodontics. I still remember that word.
Endodontics, yes, that's true.
Endodontics. Did I say that right?
Endodontics.
Endodontics. Yes. You see, I need to revise
You
those
know
words. They're Latin, right?
Sorry?
They're Latin words, I guess.
Yes, yes.
They were so hard.
Medical terms are Latin.
So imagine me going on stage, you know, just trying to pronounce these words in front of dentists who've been
Yeah.
doing it for a
It's
living.
a bit difficult, yes, I do agree.
Amazing. So that's why I even appreciate you more with this. I mean,
Thank you.
taking care of your career path because of an objective is just so inspirational. Now, how important it is to have an objective to get a career path?
It is, I mean, without an objective, you won't be able to do anything, you know? It's like the main thing.
Right, right. You know, I think you're one of the lucky ones that actually found your calling and purpose early in your life, because they got people right now, even in their 40s, they're still trying to find out, okay, we've done a little bit of this, we traveled a bit.
And they still can't know what they actually want.
And you know, they don't have like much of a foundation. I mean, I'm not gonna school myself. I myself tried a lot of things, you know, whether it's TV or hosting and all kind of stuff. And it's been very interesting. But at the end of the day, we get to see that with all these trials, would have been nice to have a really clear structure.
Yes.
So that's why I see you're one of the lucky ones that actually took that step a long time ago, and now you're on a very strong foundation.
Yes, thank you.
So what's the future for you? What do you feel like you want to do? Carry on studies, you know, have
I
your own clinic?
definitely will
Okay.
do my master's, hopefully, and hopefully open my clinic one day.
Okay.
And honestly, being a dentist is not just one of my main goals were to go beyond just being a normal dentist. I would like to go outside, and you know, there are some countries that are a bit poor. I would like to be able to help them.
Wow.
And
Wow.
create them a beautiful smile.
Thank you.
So that's one of my main goals, honestly.
Oh, you reminded me of a documentary called That Sugar Life.
Yes.
So it takes place in the United States, in Texas, if I'm not mistaken right now. Hopefully my memory doesn't fail me right now. So it's a dentist who has this big van. Like, you know, you have a food truck?
Yes,
He has a
yes.
dentist truck.
Okay, okay, yes.
He goes around and he helps people for free.
Yeah,
But
this is what I would
severe
like.
cases. We're talking about people who just lost all their teeth because of sugar or excessive intake of sugar. And he will just go and fix it.
That's just beautiful, honestly. That's so nice.
And I'm like, it must be costly.
No, but whatever you study in the medical field, it's more of humanity than just having money, you know?
Okay.
And this is what people lack nowadays. To me, it was just mainly humanity.
Wow.
And that's why I would like to do this, inshallah, in future, hopefully.
You have an amazing heart.
Thank you,
an
thank you
amazing
so
heart.
much. Thank
That's
you
for
so much.
that's for sure. That's for
Thank
sure. Any countries you want to pretty much go and support?
Maybe Nepal.
Nepal.
Yes,
Okay.
Africa.
Africa.
These countries.
I don't know why. A friend of mine as well, he happens to be in the medical field. He said El Salvador. He wants to go there as well.
Yes, yes. That's one of the countries as well, yes.
He's been learning Spanish now. So
Okay.
he wants to go over there and practice the Spanish while supporting people in the medical field.
Yes, that's nice.
Wow,
That's
well,
really
I
nice.
really appreciate you for doing that.
Thank you.
I wouldn't even want to ask you for last words, but because you've been inspiring us, since the start of the talk.
Thank you so much.
But any last words to your viewers?
Just visit the dentist every 6 months because people don't usually, they just come to the dentist when they feel pain.
Yeah.
And this is when the problem already reached to the maximum.
Eroded, yeah.
Yes, so just visit us every 6 months.
I wish I had that advice like years ago. Like the team members of Bahrain Now, they're amazing, right? But all of a sudden they just see a message from me saying, hey, I can't make it in like a few days. Why? I broke a tooth.
Oh my God.
So it took me like more than a month to fix everything.
Yes, yes.
And it's just painful. It can be a bit expensive at some points, And like with all the works and all that, there was like a construction site in my mouth. It's just
because you didn't visit us every 6 months. You should have.
Yes, I made that mistake and I don't want to do it again. Well,
yes, inshallah.
Dr. Fatma Rajab, it's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure to me as well.
Honor,
Thank
honestly.
you so much for
Such an
having
inspiration.
me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, an objective before we even start is really important. All the way to make humanity even better and safer. Thank you so much for being with us right here. It was an interview with Fatma Rajab right here on Bahrain Now. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's a wrap for another great episode of Bahrain Now. As usual, be sure to reach out to us on our social media accounts shown below and stay tuned for more exciting segments on Bahrain Now. This was Bara Abdallah. Till next time, Bahrain, good night and God bless.